Right, so today's planting is a continuation of my attempt to sort of honour my grandmother, who has recently passed, by planting some of the trees she had in her garden in the UK here in Zambia. So this is one of the trees that ties to one of the more dramatic moments in her life. So on one of her birthdays, a very, very large, old mulberry tree she had in her garden blew down in a hurricane, which is unusual in the UK. There's not been many, but that was also the day of my sister's birth. So it was quite a memorable moment. My grandfather did replant the mulberries, so they grew up with my sister effectively. And I will say they do tend to grow a lot bigger in what seems to be the same species in the UK than they tend to here. They can get big here, but it takes usually quite a lot of water and usually quite a bit of pruning. So this is Morus albus, which I believe is the sort of standard common mulberry. It doesn't really need a marker plant where it's going in here, because this is an area which is very much suppressed by bamboo leaves, so it doesn't really get grassy. Because I have been gardening a bit here, it's opened up. It's quite a lively soil underneath, but it's not very inviting to grass seed. So you don't tend to lose things in here, provided you remember to water them. But there was a yucca growing here that mole rats had chewed through the base of, and it's been trying to regenerate some roots. So I'm going to plant that as a marker until it's a little bit healthy, a little bit more vigorous, and then I'll probably propagate it away at a better time of year. We're also going to be putting in a couple of other companion plants, and one of them is because I dislike the way that people tend to whitewash people when they die. I think the person's character isn't just in their most saintly behaviours, and my grandmother did have a wicked sense of humour, and sometimes that did translate to her being a little bit wicked to people around her, especially to, for example, her sons-in-law, including my father. And so I thought it would be quite appropriate in memory of that to include a mother-in-law's tongue plant. So this is my favourite cultivar of that, which is the moonshine version, which is a very pretty pale version of that, and it does seem pretty hardy and pretty tolerant. So that's going to go in and form a nice little succulent ground cover around the base of this, stop it from drying out too much, because it will get a decent amount of afternoon sun here at some times of year. And then finally we're going to be putting in a piece of the aloe arborescens that had actually broken off a small clump that I planted here a while ago that was getting lost under a Ficarea foetida that I was digging up to plant this, because I didn't really want a Ficarea foetida here. There's already a big one, so I didn't need all the ones that have been dropped at the same time from the parent plant to take over this area. And that should be everything for today, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you haven't enjoyed it, thank you for watching anyway. Please tune in again tomorrow. I will be planting something else. I do think I know what, I just need to work out where, but we'll see.